Everybody, Ben here. It's Wednesday, it's WIP Wednesday. So on a Wednesday we get together and we have a look at all of the great hobby stuff that you guys have been up to. So forgive me, we did have to miss at least last week. I'm afraid I've not been very well at all. I spent basically a week either at work or asleep. Basically, I just lost a week of my life, and today is the first day I've actually been feeling particularly well enough to film, with the exception of doing the podcast, where you've got to do the podcast, you know, the show must go on. So forgive me for not being around much the last couple of weeks, so significantly behind, but we'll do what we can to get caught up with some bits and bobs today. I don't think we're going to be caught up to speed, so that means we've got some more for next week as well. Anyway, if you are working on something cool, you're just starting out with the hobby, you just want to work with us and show off some gear, then drop us an email at theboneheadpodcast@gmail.com and we'll have a look together at all the great hobby goodness going on out there. First up today, we've got Samuel Soto. Hey Ben, I was finally able to finish my kit bashed ogre and had the idea of starting an OWA team for a tournament my friend and I are putting together. Awesome. Tell us more about the tournament when you get a chance, Samuel. My kit bashed ogre will make a great centerpiece for the team. Here are the old world tornadoes. Thanks for everything you do and for keeping Blood Bowl community up to date and relevant. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you very much, Samuel. And talking of amazing work, dude, come on. I never have my Packers mug when I'm recording the show. You can't beat green and yellow as a combination. OWA are a great team. You get to mix up what you're painting. The dwarf team can be a bit of a slog, so being able to mix them in is really good. Now, excellent edge highlighting on the go here. Solid colour scheme. Great basing. Love the addition of the tufts. Brilliant. So you've got Rumbelow Sheepskin here. This is the Grebo Miniatures Games one. I think Rumbelow is the only model from the Blood Bowl rulebook that we haven't got yet. So the fact that Grebo have produced a couple of different really good ones is very, very cool. Excellent. Got the Human Blitzer on the go. Got a bit of the Halfling Hopeful in there as well. And there's the team. So let's skip forward and have a look at the Ogre, because the Ogre kit bash that Samuel's mentioned, really cool. So what we got here from the looks of it is the Ogre kit from the Ogre, alright, from the Blood Bowl 2020 box set, or just the Blood Bowl Ogre itself, and Varag Ghoul Chewer's shoulder piece, and I think maybe a piece of the Van Brace as well. Maybe that's some spare pieces. That bit there, click, enhance, this bit here does look a little bit Space Wolfy, so I don't know if you've got a bit of a Space Wolf bit on the go. Anyway, the use of Varag Ghoul Chewer's ghoul that he chews on the shoulder piece, it's a great way to kind of like vary up the model a bit. Absolutely, it's a really solid piece of work there. Team is looking great, Samuel. Let me know what your tournament's going to be. Let us know and we'll share it on the podcast, because more tournaments, more Blood Bowl, more better, as we say. This is pretty lovely as well. Let's not knock it. It's got to be jelly. It is jelly. We kind of saw these, I think, in the background. Hang on. The background of the undead team, but these are Punga. Is this Punga? Anyway, hey Ben, I wanted to share this is jelly. Sorry, you guys probably know this by now. I wanted to share the wraiths again for my Night Haunters because I think they got lost in your mailbox somewhere in the Beach Bowl mayhem. Yes, I have 273 unread emails in the Bonehead podcast when it came around to Beachhead. So from like January through to now, we've just had all of the emails. Think about like all the teams. There's like 100 teams across 2 days, plus other correspondence and just everything. So forgive me if I've not got back to you. It's crazy, and I'm doing my best to catch up. I followed a video of someone painting Lady Ollivander, which is the Age of Sigmar Night Haunt woman from the Underworlds. Anyway, it's just a layer of Nile Oxide and a couple of layers of watered down celiac green shade. Really simple, but I think they came out really stunning. That's fantastic. Nile Oxide is the ghost paint, and being able to use that green shade, which we can see here, it darkens certain elements of it. And it looks like Jelly's done some edge highlighting as well to just make it really pop, and it works really beautifully. Now I'm onto my Grebo Chorf team. Looking through sports and manga pictures, I came upon a logo in orange, blue and silver, which took my fancy. After some figuring out and a lot of perseverance, I came up with this scheme that I think a Chorf would wear. So this is Grebo Chorf's. Oh, that is vibrant. Oh, I love that. That is... That reminds me of, like, the stuff I would buy as an action figure or something as a kid. It's got that safety Nerf orange on it. I mean, Jelly paints a very nice orange. Also, the first time I tried a white zenithal highlight and found it really helps with the shading of the model. Only used washes for the silver and beard, so it's really helped level up my painting. Still learning something new every time. Happy blocking, Jelly. Wow, yeah. I mean, the Grebo models are really lovely. Excellent orange. That's a really wicked paint scheme. I love it. You can't beat safety orange. Jelly, always good to see. What's on your table? Hey, we got Dish Dash here. Hey Ben and all the WIP Wednesday crew. Hope this finds everyone doing well. Please find attached my latest WIP. The hopefully high scoring Wood Elves. Painting the whole box but making a sevens team. Here we go. Still thinking about the name, but somehow they make me think of a new age cult. So something like the Sacred Grove Groovers. Amazing. Particularly proud of how the War Dancer skin has come out. And choosing a wood colour for the pauldrons. I'd normally go metallic, but trying something different. Still went with metal for the masks. Maybe they're made of legendary mithril. Fantastic. Yeah, it's great to add the definition to the skin tones. It looks like you've gone with slightly different, either slightly different skin tones, or because you've got the highlights of this guy here, it does vary up that flesh tone with the team. Looks really good. Yellow is really popping. Yellow and green. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Yes. All right. Fantastic. Loving this. Wood Elves. Brilliant. I actually went with green and white with mine. I sort of, there's no yellow on there. But this is really, really, really cool. And I'll tell you what, you know, Dish Dash has got to bang on here. If you're painting a team, starting by finishing your sevens team is a great way to do it. By that point, you'll either know if you do like the team or don't like the team. You play some sevens games, you get a good feel of the team, and you've painted some of the stuff up, which is going to make it a lot easier if you want to flesh out a full team. I've done this far too many times. Anyway, thanks for all your time and effort and tips and encouragement. It's a real lift seeing what everyone's up to and keeps me motivated. Those homemade 3D prints last week were awesome. Yes, week before, there's a couple of things. We got a couple of bits today as well, which is very sweet. Okay, Dish Dash also... This is cool. Here we go. Built and primed my snotlings for a future team. My daughter Lily drew a cool picture of a halfling from the box art, so I snuck it in as a backdrop. How good is this? And a massive good luck with your Wood Elves for the championship. No pressure, but I need 3 points to get over the 20-point threshold. The Bonehead Championship wrap-up is coming out. Is it Saturday or Sunday? It's coming out this weekend anyway. All the best, Eugene/Dish Dash. Dude, awesome. This is so good. Look at this. Good job, Lily. And it's always great to see some snotlings on the go. Absolute flipping love snotlings. Nah, that's wicked. Absolutely brilliant. Hey, we've got some high elves here. Where have the high elves come from? Let's have a look and see. This is Alex. Hi Ben, it took me quite a while, but I finished painting the whole high elf team with all the possible team combinations plus some spare models. I've also finished the Games Workshop Elven Union lineman model using a similar colour scheme. Quite happy with how it turned out, so I'm thinking about painting a full Elven Union team next. I feel like we may have covered this one last week, but I don't know. Anyway, can't beat high elves. Love the team. I don't know if we did see this. Anyway, I love the team. I love the way you've gone all in. Okay, all in. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 catchers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blitzers. I love it. You've got all the bits and pieces you need to run, all the different elf teams, and we've got the elf union player here as well. Love the metal. That actually, the skin tone is, and the highlighting on the hair is really, really good. Man, the models are very different from the 3rd edition to the 2020 edition. Absolutely brilliant, Alex. Thank you very much for sharing. Okay, next up, we've got James. Hey, Ben. First time sending anything in, and just wanted to say I've been watching your YouTube for some time now and really love your content. Thank you, James. I first saw Blood Bowl back around 1992-93 when I was 11 or 12 years old. Never got to play it, but watched a few games with interest. Jumped to 2019 and I bought Blood Bowl 2 on the PS4. And after playing a few games, I thought I would try and get my then 7-year-old into it and bought a second-hand 2016 edition. Then came the apocalypse and a new version before I even had a chance to play a single game. I've signed up to 2 tournaments and just started in a local-ish league, managing the grand total of 2 games of tabletop at the time of this email. then you're already a veteran. Haven't painted anything since my Redemptionists back in the early days of Necromunda. Dude, the Redemptionists were sweet. I think they've just really released them now, actually. I began painting the Orc team to get some practice, but now I'm worrying that I'm running out of time before Steel Bowl and UKTC, so I've reluctantly started paying Lizards to try and get them to a reasonable standard, which, given the 25+ year gap since painting anything, seems like a bit of a pipe dream. I'm fairly happy with the 2 Orc throwers, and just hope I can pull something out of the bag like this for the Lizard. Sorry for the long email. Much love, James. James, this is wicked. Okay, great start. These Orcs look brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, if you are taking Lizards to a tournament, oh, you're nearly there. And you've gone all in with the Forge World Crocs as well. Absolutely love it. No, you are nearly there. Painting a team the Friday before a tournament is just how it's done. Do not worry. Get your stuff, get some flock on that base, get some sand on that base is probably the best way to do it. This guy here, number 2 and number 7, they are finished. All right, you don't need to worry. Get some stuff on the base there. Coat of Agrax. It's done. And then you can go back and do the details later. Maybe pick out the metallics, then give it some Agrax or some shading all over, and you are absolutely there. So you are so close to being done, you don't even know it. Do not worry. Trust me. I've done this hundreds of times. You can get a team painted in no time. You just have to just focus on what's going to look, what's going to pop on the tabletop. No one cares if the eyes aren't done, if the belts aren't done. You're not going to see them. It doesn't matter. Main colors, so you can see who your guy is. You can see what your guy is. Absolutely, it's all there, and the base is what finishes the model. So I recommend doing the sand method, gluing some sand on there, just getting some watered down brown paint on there, paint the edge black. You're good to go. But hey, running Lizards, great. Look at this. Okay, so brilliant work on the armor. Oh yeah, definitely a Necromunda player there. You've got that worn armor effect. Absolutely love it. Woo, this is spicy. Right, we are going in to Tyler now. Hey Ben, Tyler here from Nuffles Playbook. Finally finished my Khorne team for our kick game today of the new season. Thanks for your great content. Keep it coming. Introducing the Siege Breakers. Note, every time a player on this team scores a casualty from a block, I will add Blood for the Blood God paint onto one of the model limbs. Check back in 4 months for the after picture. Tyler. Absolutely wicked. Right, this team is wonderful. So this is what looks like a mixture of the Games Workshop Khorne team and the Grebo Alastoran Demons of Khorne team. And what a great excuse to use all that Blood for the Blood God. Get all those skulls on the go. This is so good. I love Khorne. It's such a good challenge. And this is really lovely. This is really sweet. Really, really lovely team. I'm a big fan of the 4-limbed demons. That's a new design style. I've missed that. That's cool. That is really interesting. Definitely not reflected in the rules, but no, this is cool. I love the scheme as well. I like the mixture of that kind of bluish black with the red and gold. Works really, really well. War, Death, Famine, and Pestilence. So you've got the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Great little reroll markers there, and I'm assuming that's the Apothecary. Do not trust that dude, but great work on the flesh tones in the skin. On the open wound, these guys are wicked too. Nice addition of the spears there to add some extra spike. Really, really, really cool. Thank you very much. Oh, cool. Here we got James. Hi Ben, hope you're well. Now back from Beachhead, I have turned my attention back to my stadium. Showing pictures here of the weather station from Kraken, placed on top of the stands in the far corner. There can be no doubt to the playing teams what the weather is doing, with the weather watchers surveying the sky. I don't know, man. I would still forget the weather in a game. I mean, if you watch the Bonehead Championship, I think we forgot the weather a couple of times. Love the way the different weathers can be shown from the station to remind when playing what player conditions we're in. I'm going to try and keep a good pace on this so the different parts of the stadium can be focused on in future weeks. That would be sweet, James. Yeah, absolutely. Got quite a few other sections like a full-blown graveyard, bar, TV stands, and of course the bleachers holding the crowd. More on these later. Keep up the great work. All the best, Jim. Dude, this is sweet. Okay, so this is Kraken Studios. And you've got the weather station. I love the little goblins and stuff. That's really cool. But as we go, you can see all the different weathers. You've got nice, you've got raining, you've got sweltering heat, you've got blizzard. I think I might have to pick this up and print this off because it's a really cool way to do it. And it's kind of like a little bit of a hobby terrain thing as well. This is cool. The bleachers are really sweet. I like that. That's really, really, really cool. Just the prospect of a Blood Bowl stadium. Right, you know what? Let's have a look at this. Have you resin printed all of these pieces? Or is that FDM? Or is that FDM? Is that, or PLA? Is that plastic? The detail looks like resin. Dude, some chunky stuff there if that's resin. Or you've just got one heck of a plastic printer. Ooh, I don't know. Looks amazing. Anyway, weather station looks great. Oh, yeah, this is so good. Oh, I'm absolutely fighting the urge to create a stadium. And just let's focus on Dungeon Bowl first. Let's focus on Dungeon Bowl first because that is so good. Really, really, really cool. Thank you very much. And next up we've got Cooper. Hey Ben, hope you're doing well. Been on a bit of a Blood Bowl burnout recently, but I've started making terrain so I can get into Mordheim soon. Going to get a 3D printer in the next couple of months so I can start printing some warbands and Blood Bowl stuff, of course. Got a long way to go, but I'm enjoying it. Love seeing everybody's amazing hobby projects. Cooper. Dude, Mordheim, what a classic game. It didn't make my top 5 out of print, I don't think. But it's a really solid game. The community is brilliant. The community is just one of the most creative out there. Like, the Blood Bowl community is great, but we're gamers, right? Mordheim, nut jobs. It's so good. You see this terrain, this is just the beginning. Cooper is on a bit of a treacherous slope here, and I'm very excited to see how you get on with that terrain because Mordheim is just, oh, that is a rabbit hole. I love it. Okay, next up we've got some bits here from Silith. Hello, fans of the Bonehead podcast WIP Wednesday. I'm hijacking Ben's voice to tell you that you should not be intimidated by the recent amazing submissions to the WIP Wednesday. Your submissions are great too and should be shown off. To show you how simple it is, I did a batch paint of the Ogre team's Noblars using just base colours and a quick coat of Nuln Oil wash. Don't be shy, show off. Know that the only way you'll make great art is by making mediocre art first. Silith, that's awesome. This is not mediocre, but what I will say is this is a really good way to get a team painted. And that's kind of what I was just saying about the Lizardman team. Get your base colours down, get a wash on the go, get your base done. You can go back and make them better later. What often happens is you'll paint a team, you'll do this, and then you'll do another team in the future. You'll learn something from it. You'll have more time. You will have gone through that thing. But the Noblars are looking great. Now this is Artisan Guilds. This is one of the Minotaurs from week before last? No, month before last. They're onto Trolls this month, which is pretty cool. There's some cool stuff out there. I'm also including an Artisan Guild Minotaur with no team yet, with a little size comparison to an Ogre. Fantastic. Okay, so this is one of the Minotaurs. Oh. That sizes up absolutely perfectly with the Blood Bowl Ogre. I haven't had a chance to print these guys yet because I want a Minotaur team, so I'm thinking, oh, okay, we can do some Minotaurs because they've got some cool Minotaurs on the go. Oh yeah, this is cool, absolutely brilliant. Cooper, thank you very much. Not Cooper, Silith. We did Cooper. Silith, awesome stuff. Love a Minotaur, love batch painting, and everything you just said is exactly right. Share what you're doing. Get started, just share because it's so good. We're a great community and we just want to keep going and keep getting better. So good. Thank you very much. This is cool too. So this is Winston. Hey Ben, I thought I'd take a break from Blood Bowl minis this week and decided to get my Infinity team sorted. So Infinity is a sci-fi skirmish game by Corvus Belli, and I love it. It's the only game with opposed rolls that I don't hate. Sorry, Frostgrave people, but just no. I rolled higher than you. I win. What a garbage game that is. Infinity has got target numbers as well. So you need to roll higher than your opponent but below your threshold. Really cool mechanic. It's all about reactions, and you can deploy a dude in the right corridor and you can just keep nailing the opponent. Fantastic game. Really, really, really good. This is the Starmada faction. Went for a different style to the grungy to the grungy necromantic, and went for crisp, clean, futuristic colours. All the best, Winston. Absolutely brilliant. I love seeing a bit of sci-fi. So this is the Infinity stuff. Let's have a look. Cool. You get extra points for the background there. Lovely blending on that orange, that fiery orange effect. Goes really well and clashes nicely with this metallic blue. That little Captain America guy is amazing, isn't he? This is interesting. Oh, this is tempting. No, wicked. Absolutely brilliant to see some sci-fi stuff there. And nice to know there's some Infinity players, because it's such a great, great game. Next up, we've got something from Jana here, or Jana, I'm really sorry, I'm not quite sure. Hey Ben, wrote and sent some stuff in before, but I thought I'd write it again since it probably got lost in the shuffle. Again, sorry guys. Me and my boyfriend only started playing less than 6 months ago, and we really love it. Brilliant. I built a ton of terrain for D&D before. Oh, okay, you've got my interest now. So I have some experience there. Since we don't enjoy the Games Workshop pitch because of the big skull in the middle that make it hard to see the lines, that is incredibly fair actually. I decided to build my own. Here we go. It's broken down into sections and magnetized. It's textured XPS foam with a coat of Mod Podge. Nice to harden the foam on the outside. Painted it with my airbrush, flocked it, and airbrushed the grooves again. It's clever. That's clever. Also airbrushed all the lines. You can see the difference between the parts before. I applied the last wash and darkened the grooves with the airbrush. Here we go. So let's have a look at some of the pictures. So we've got the magnet bit there. You've got the scoring of the XPS foam. And here we go. So this is... oh, yeah, definitely. So really clever way to do it. Really great way to get the lines out there. And we're using the airbrush to pick it out. Using the airbrush to get the lines on the go. It looks really good. So this is just muddy. And that is exactly what you expect from a sports pitch. Yeah, this is fantastic. This is a great bit of work. I mean, you had me at magnets, to be fair. But the execution of this has been really, really well finished off as well. Airbrush to do the lines really, really works. I'm impressed with that. That's so good. And actually breaking it down into chunks for storage is so, so good. Oh, I love seeing a pitch. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, cool. But it continues. I also built myself a box for my first love, the Necro team, the Rottingham Sheriffs. I built that one from scratch and put magnets in the bottom and washers on the bottom of the bases. I still like it, but it's way too bulky for my backpack. Also doesn't fit bigger models, so that isn't a great combination. Okay, so we've got the Rottingham Sheriffs here. Ah, yeah, cool. So made the box, got the magnets in the way, got the players to stay in the place with them. Oh, that's cool. The front is brilliant. How have you done that? Is that just XPS foam as well? Absolutely really cool. Oh, with the texture around the back. That's so good. Okay, that's so, so, so good. So with the next box I used a foam tray and just built the box around it. Again, magnetized the lid. It's also textured XPS foam. This one was a Christmas present for my boyfriend for his Skaven team. The name is a pun. It's based on a song of a very famous German punk rock band, Die Ärzte. The box is dry brushed and has a limestone pattern on it on the sides and a rocky texture on top with the name engraved into it. The name was then painted in and I created a bit of a glow again with my airbrush. Okay, cool. So more work on the box here. Yeah, so good. As a Skaven player, that definitely ticks the box. Okay, you've got that warpstone glow. It just looks like a tombstone, like a cartouche. Very, very cool. And that glow is super good. And we've got more. So Jurassic Express. The next box is my masterpiece so far. It is for my wrestling themed Lizardman team that I'm bringing to my first tournament in 2 days. So this email is probably about 2 weeks old. 13 days old now. It is based around one of my favorite wrestlers, Lucha Soros, who is a 2-meter tall wrestling dinosaur with a green mask. I named all my Lizardmen after wrestlers and painted the Croxagore green, and named him Lucha Soros. So I copied the design of a t-shirt with his tag team name on it that he has with Jungle Boy. I printed the logo, copied it onto the phone by tracing the lines, then I textured the rest of the box in a Mayan themed pattern on the side that I used on the bases of the team as well. The lid is then dry brushed to look like metal and then coloured it in very carefully. So Jurassic Express, that's so good. Nice art down the bottom there as well, but this is very, very, very cool. And you've got the box, you've got the team. Can we see Luchasaurus in there? There he is, big boy at the bottom, just here. Very sweet. Let's have a look. Let's see. Oh, that's just so cool. Excellent, excellent, bold. Oh, I just love it. The metal effect is really, really, really cool as well. Look at that. That's so good. The last image is a group shot of all the boxes I've done so far, including a lid for a dwarf team for my boyfriend that just didn't turn out as I wanted it to. Would that be the Frozen Fury of Phosforge? This is so cool. I love all of them. And the pitch as well. This is so good. Like, this is what's so dangerously good about the Blood Bowl hobby is you can just... This stuff here, nothing to do with Blood Bowl, but it's to do with Blood Bowl. Like, you don't need any of this. You don't need to make your own pitch. You need to make your own carry cases, but you can, and it gives people this. It gives you the opportunity to just be incredible, and that's exactly what we've got here. And it just makes me so happy. That's so cool. Last bit, thank you for making the podcast on WIP Wednesday. Always love hearing Blood Bowl stuff and it gets the hobby juices flowing. Also really enjoy the strategy content. Thank you and best wishes from Berlin, Germany. Yeah, Jana. I don't know. It might be Yana. I'm not sure. Anyway, awesome. Thank you so much. That's such cool stuff. Like, it doesn't have to be Blood Bowl you share on here. It can be anything you're working on. Hobby. This is WIP. This is work in progress, and there's some great stuff on the go here. And we've got some more great stuff now. This is Jake. Hey, Ben. Hope all is well with you. Sorry, this is a bit of an essay. Right. For this week's WIP Wednesday, I have some pictures and a little story. Okay, settle in. For ages, I've been planning to make and run an Underworld Denizens team because they look like so much fun. Gonna stop you there, Jake. They are so much fun. Completely agree. Even after the rules changes, they're so good. Okay, and before my last payday, I was planning to buy them finally, but then the price hike announcement came and the last few boxes on places like Wayland and Element sold out. I was not deterred because I really want to play some Underworld, so I decided to make the team up from odds and ends, which I thought would make it more unique. So true. And the cool thing here about like Underworld and Pact, you can make some really unique teams. I will say, don't forget Entoyment. If you want your Blood Bowl stuff, they do a load of Blood Bowl stuff. They've always got a good amount of stock because, well, we love Blood Bowl and we keep pestering Pete the owner to make sure he's got enough Blood Bowl in there. So I painted up the Noblars from the Dungeon Bowl box to use as Snotlings. Love that. And bought a box of normal goblins, which I head swapped with Gretchen 40k heads and Night Goblin heads to make them more my own. I painted them up to look like they were wearing high vis because I wear it for work and thought it would be funny. I love health and safety stuff when it comes to Blood Bowl. It's just such a juxtaposition. I love it. They're not the best painted, but I did them quick with contrast and had a lot of fun. Still going to get some green crystals to stick on the bases and bodies as Warpstone proxy. And on payday, I'll be buying me a 3D printed troll. I know you like the Rat Ogre better, but sorry, throwing goblins is too much fun. Okay, that is fair. There's always space for a troll, and the Warpstone troll is a very good troll. And a box of rats to complete the team. Building the team in this way has honestly made me love them all the more and give it some real character. Thanks for reading my novella. Keep up the good work and I'll keep you posted. Would love to attend one of your events one day. Jake, we'd love to have you, especially if this is the kind of team you're going to be running. Head swaps, underrated. Okay, if you've got a 40k bits box, you've got Age of Sigmar stuff, you've got some bits from Puppets War or some 3D printed stuff, it can make all the difference. Guarantee someone's going to be like, where's this model from? It's a head swap from the old goblin like champion, I think, from Battle of Skull Pass. Awesome. I love the paint scheme. I think it works brilliantly. Look at that, 40k goblin head on a goblin player, completely different, completely changes up the model. Yeah, that's so good. Night Goblin head on that guy. And yeah, head swaps, so good, and it works well. The halfling team, I did the chaos things with chaos head swaps. It's so cool. And you know what, Noblars and Snotlings are interchangeable. Love it. Love the look of the team. I'm very interested to see how you do the Skaven. The cool thing is, because you've got so much personality here, and because Underworld is kind of the Skaven are not that differentiated. You've got one thrower, you've got one blitzer. You don't need to worry too much about customizing those. But yeah, I love the idea of chucking some green stuff, some green crystals on there, Jake. So cool. Thank you very much for sharing. Next up, we got David Warner. Hi Ben, David Warner here again, but not the Blood Bowl commissioner. But I'd be curious to meet him. Not David Warner, Blood Bowl commissioner. Here's the start of my Grebo Games Chaos Dwarf team, London's Beefy Eaters. All right, thanks David. Wicked. So this is, dude, there's some work gone into this. Lovely highlighting, and this Chaos guy, just so much work in the beard and the gold. Absolutely pops as a rich red and a rich gold scheme, which is just like, that's the kind of thing you can go and give glamour to a project, give, you know, affluence and that vibe, and it's beautiful. The Grebo Games Chaos Dwarf team is wonderful, and I love that you've used the base toppers. I really rate those base toppers. Can we just appreciate David Warner's painting selection at the back there? That is beautifully organized and very well filled out. This is a nice hobby space. I like nice humble brags, but anyway, excellent stuff. Love Chaos Dwarves. Love these new teams. It's interesting though, someone pointed this out to me the other day, is there are some rings on the Grebo stuff. It's interesting. There's their really high def 3D printed stuff, but there's a couple of bits where there's some rings. Anyway, David, thank you very much for sharing. This is Torma. Hello Ben, I'm Torma, first time here, recently joined the Patreon. Thank you very much. I love your videos. I'm relatively new to the hobby, only 2 years. Yeah, you're at least level 2 now. I stumbled on Blood Bowl a few months after the second season launched. I loved the sculpts and painted a few guys when I got it, but couldn't force myself to paint more since I don't have anyone to play with. But last month a friend said he'd love to play some Blood Bowl since he's a D&D player and loves football. This is how I describe Blood Bowl all the time. It's D&D, like D&D, Lord of the Rings, whichever they're more familiar with American football. It's such a good selling point. So I had to build a few more up for us to play a game. My girlfriend found it really fun when we played, and she decided to play too and says she had a blast. So I'm looking to buy halflings or snotlings since she said they're cute and wants me to play with them. Yep, brilliant. Tiff keeps saying that if I pick her up on one of the Grebo's Cutimals team, she'll play. We'll see. And introducing people into Blood Bowl, sevens is such a good way to do it. Absolutely, couldn't rate that more. So I now have a reason to paint some more of them now. The one goblin that doesn't quite fit in with the other is a competition entry, cell shading cartoon style, and little dude won me a $20 in a 3D printing store. I used it to buy some proxies for my Chaos Renegades. I'll share them with you some other time. Please do. I love Renegades. I really love converting these and making them my own, so I started some work on my Slanesh worshipping Chaos Renegades team. I'm thinking about calling them Lung Tongues Lickers. Throw is finished, but I'll add a tongue on the lineman, and his right hand is magnetized, so I'll be making some claws, 2 big hands for him to show his mutations. Awesome stuff. Okay, let's have a look at this gear proper. So this is some of the conversions that's going on for the Chaos Renegade team. That is excellent. That skull head swap there is very, very, very cool. And you got the tongue. This guy's got, it's got some, is that, can't be nobility gloves. Maybe, don't know whose gloves they are. Anyway, looking really, really, really cool. Great conversions, and you bang on. Converting stuff, making it your own is so good. This is wicked. Look at this. I'm not surprised. That cell shading effect, that cartoony style, we saw a couple of weeks ago someone done some as well. It's hard to pull off. Like, you've really got to commit to it, and you've done a brilliant job of it. Really sweet, excellently executed. And we've got a mixture of players on the go here, which is cool. I say Snotlings are quite complicated to play. Halflings are a lot easier, and you get to use some flashy star players, which if you're looking to bring people into Blood Bowl can be quite a cool selling point as well. This is a great mix of teams though. Absolutely brilliant to see. Oh, I've lost where I am now. Yeah, very, very, very cool. I would say halflings, but be prepared to bring those star players on the go. Okay, this is why I got myself confused. So, next up, we have got Adam. Hey Ben, been a while since I mentioned I'd started my Lizardmen, but here they are, completed. Some basic markers, colouring, and used some old 25mm bases I had laying around that I no longer needed to mount the statues on. Nice. I love the ring effect you've gone through. That's really cool. And you've got the tokens there, so Lizardman tokens, which is great too. It's some bold colour schemes, and I think we're going to see that carry through into the players. And we are. Look at this. This is amazing. The Chameleons were the first guys done, so not much, if anything, has changed on them other than a little cleaning up. The bases are amazing, and they are absolutely mirrored in the Chameleon skinks. Just the vibrance of the colour. I mean, it looks like they're playing on an app game. It's like their pitch is bejeweled, and I'm so excited about that. Love a good vibrant retro colour scheme. Okay, we've got some more skinks on the go here. The rest of the stunty guys, base is completed and a bit of finishing done. Great work on the skinks, beautiful work on the eyes, and some really nice edge highlighting there as well, and some more blending. Those bases are just super bright, and I love it. I like the way you've gone for the different colour schemes on the skinks as well, but you've tied them in with the uniform colours, and let's face it, with those bases, they are clearly the same team. This I really love. So you've got the medium to dark green of the Lizardman, and then it's tied in with the rest using that vibrant synthwave colour scheme, which I just love. This dude's wicked as well. We've got Parma Violets, the Saurus. Again, tying that colour scheme in. That gold goes really well with the pink as well, which is very, very, very cool. And I think we're going to see a little bit more of that here with the bit of a flesh tone dude, and some commitment to the edge highlighting on this team is really, really, really cool. Now, I mean, this is a really good example of committing to a scheme if you've got something that carries through. So you've got the basing here, but you've also got the vibrant colours of the uniform. Every one of these guys has got a different skin tone, whether it's fleshy orange, cold blue, you know, this nice mottled effect on the scales there. You know, all of those different flesh tones tie in really well because you've got that one motif going through. And again, on the Croxagore, the same is true. So do we have here we go. I decided against my original idea for the Croxagore and avoided a weapon toting lizard and went with something that showed a bit more heft and big guy energy. Big guy energy, that's a phrase we need to use more. So here's a few pitch to get an almost 360 view. Oh, and I cut up some Seraphon bits to make the headdress and some 40k bits from, nice, yeah, I can see that, to make a shoulder pad. I believe it's part of a knight's helm. Oh, wicked. No, it's a clever way to do it. You got bits, you can add the armor. 40k orcs are a great place for spare armor parts. But I mean, being able to then take the Aztec-y pieces and add to it, just again ties it in with the team. And you've got that pink color scheme as well on the armor plates, the pink and gold, which is basically the team's colors here. Excellent effort on the individual scales as well. This is a really lovely model. Right, here we go. We've got the team shot now. Finally, for the Pinball Lizards photo round-off, a set of group shots for reference on the size of the Crocs, agreeing that a big guy looks better on a 40mm base compared to the rest of the team. Yeah, Croxagore, you got to have a big Croxagore because that's what Croxagores are there to do. And this team is awesome. I love the execution of that. That is just phenomenal. Finally, I've decided with the influence of the bases, inspired by my wife's diamond stud paint by numbers hobby, nice, to start making a pitch with a similar theme. Even though I've only just started, who knew industrial strength superglue in large quantities of use could cause sinus infections? No, that's brutal. So I'm having to go slow as I make this from here on in. Not that much has been done, especially as I'm done some rough calculations, and it will take approximately 80,000 studs to cover the whole board. We're killing multiple avian creatures with a projected piece of rubble, making 11's pitch featuring a 7's within. We're also making it with 40mm squared grid to permit larger teams like ogres to fit. Whoa. Okay. Surely they do sheets of this. But I guess if you're trying to glue the individual... I don't know, wouldn't it be easier to get a sheet of the cubes of the diamonds and then paint it on? Like just paint the individual ones. Oh, look at that. That is awesome. Man, that's some work. But that's a really clever thing to do. Oh, we've seen a couple of pictures today. This is the theme of the episode. High score. Oh, it's so good. That video game effect is so cool. Still working through it. Oh, tell you what, building your own pitch is really something special. It's a lot of effort, but it's really something special. Oh, and I've acquired a Black Orc team as well as another home team to use for friends, family to get involved in, as I'm currently on the lookout for a club to go and play my first game out with, so even more WIP will probably come in. One question though, Space Marines, not the spiky ones, okay to feature in Blood Bowl as a proxy team or too techie looking to work? And if they could work, what team stats would you recommend proxying as? At least writing this email broke up my glue sniffing activities for my sinuses to get some reprieve. Dude, first of all, sinus infections, not wonderful at all. Adam, it's brutal. So much cool stuff there. Space Marines. Space Marines are tough, but you need something with decent armor and decent combat ability. And I don't know, maybe dwarves is probably a good place to be. Yeah, probably dwarves, I think. It's unusual because you kind of want them to be all singing, all dancing dudes, but I think it's probably a decent way to do it. You've not got a huge amount of positionals either. Really cool. Next up, we've got Jason. Hey Ben, I wanted to show off my current necromantic team that I'm taking to an upcoming tournament, the Voodoo Valley Creep Shows. Tried to go for a more pulp comic Rob Zombie style kind of look for the team, so I didn't go for any natural colours or shading. It's also the reason I haven't done a proper base for them yet, so technically this is still a work in progress until I can find some funky coloured grass. The real stars of the show though are the two Kit Bash models I made using WizKids models and green stuff. Okay, first of all, love the colour scheme, kind of Seattle Seahawks. They've got that vibrant green, a big fan of that. Just can't beat the flesh golems. They're such strong models. Yeah, look at this. This is a wicked vibrant scheme. Really pops. Nice work with the ghost, especially the white one. You've managed to get the shading really well done on that, and that could be a tricky model. I used Nihilak Oxide and mine just came out looking like garbage. Werewolves, love them. Underrated. I love that you've gone for the maxed out thing. I like the blue color scheme for the flesh. Is really cool. It's got that retro, I mean, pulp comic, absolutely, definitely the way to call it. Anyway, the girl is being used as one of the Deathstone mercenaries being used in the tournament instead of regular star players, and the other is Newbie Ned. I plan to use him as the free zombie you get when activating the Masters of Undeath rule. Cool. Amazing. We don't see enough googly eyes in Blood Bowl. I am so sorry. I'm going to have to wrap it up there. I think we've covered a load today, but there's a load more to go, but it's nearly midnight, and I should probably wrap up now. But thank you so much for sharing what you're working on. We'll be back next week with more, and we'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, for sharing what you're working on, and just being part of this great community. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed, but we'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy painting. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to help support the channel even further, please like and subscribe, or come join us on our Patreon. We have early access to content, we get loads of feedback from you guys, and we try and do competitions as much as we can. Or you can get yourself some Bonehead podcast merch on our Spreadshirt site. So if you want to support a team, especially for the Bonehead Championship, you can pick up a shirt, a mug, things like that. It all helps support the channel, and we really appreciate it. Anyway, links below. Thank you very much. Happy blocking.